So if we think about Gen Z, there's one topic here that I often hear: school shootings, gun violence.
Oh, that's kind of like normal to us.
Right, I was
just
gonna say, it's like we've become so like accustomed, and that is like the normal, which is really disturbing, right? That we
we didn't even think to like.
The Sandy Hook school shooting really disillusionized young me to a lot of stuff.
Okay.
It did, I don't know, I feel like from that moment forward, and then all the school shootings that we started to have like reoccurringly after that, it changed how parents are and how kids are now. It is hard to describe what it's like to feel your parents anxious around you, especially as a kid.
What are the other places that should be safer, should feel safer than they currently are?
Public spaces in general, movie theaters, just any recreational activity where you're confined to one space.
Do you think about being unsafe on a regular basis? How does that feel?
Not good. Very stressful. It's the same way like going to watch a movie. Like, you know, constantly my brain is thinking of scenarios. If a gunman pops out here, I guess I'll have to run this way. Or
It's
Other
more
people
like
feel the same way?
strategizing exits and like escape routes, and like that's something that's been instilled into me as I was younger. Make sure you're always facing an exit.
Well, we're like the only country that deals with this on like an even semi-regular basis. My sister was, last year at the Mall of America when a shooter was there and had to hide in a store, and it's like, God, you can't even go out.
I just went to get seafood the other day. I was getting seafood. I was sitting there eating. It was Mother's Day weekend, I believe. So it was a lot of mothers and babies in there. All of a sudden, this man, he dropped his gun, and his gun went off. It's just like those type of places. We're in a seafood restaurant. Like, what type of level of security and safety are you expecting to have in a seafood restaurant?
Does anyone have any personal connection with gun violence? Has anyone lost anybody to gun violence?
yeah, I had quite a few family members growing up died to random acts of gun violence, whether it be drugs or, prostitute or ego, things just kind of happen.
I think in pursuing an elementary education degree, like when we were talking about earlier, exit strategies and stuff, like we have to go over entire classes of how we were going to protect the students. And I actually don't even wear like sandals or heels to school. I always wear tennis shoes, because if I have to run, I have to run. And if I have to run after kids, then I have to corral them. And
How else do you deal with it?
I try to journal. I try to walk. Try not to get caught up in life. Sometimes you do got to just log out of social media for a couple days.
if we have more protections on gun control, like doing psychological evaluations, making people wait, like having better strategies, then it would be beneficial to everyone, because having just unchecked access is what's really hurting people.
It's not perfect, clearly, but they actually had the first bipartisan piece of gun legislation in your lifetimes, in 2 generations, for like 35 years, right? Background checks on younger people, some red flag laws, I think boyfriend loopholes and some of those other things. So there has been some progress, specifically on the things that young people care about. Is that not a reason to vote again?
So I encourage myself to vote because I want to invest in climate change and gun reform. Yeah, we struggle to find the good headlines, but even reading the bad ones should be enough to get us to vote. That's how I see it, at least.